Hey everybody, today we're going to be making another primitive trap. It's the Ojibwe Bird Snare, so stick with me and I'll show you how to make it. Alright guys, this right here ought to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish taking this thing down because I only need a certain amount of that. Get that out of the way. Clean this up just a hair. Alright, that should do. Alright, this next part's pretty simple. I'll take the awl. We're going to drill a hole through this. We got to make sure it's wide enough when we're done. Let's come down actually a little bit here, that we can get a piece of paracord to it. All right, now I'm going to swing back here real quick and get that other end of this open up. That way our paracord can slide through there fairly easy. All right, now that should do it. We got our paracord. Yeah, no problem. All right. Now then, another piece we need a stick. You're going to take your knife. You're going to kind of chamfer that down to almost like a pencil. Then this is actually going to be kind of used to hold this paracord in the hole. So we'll come around the other side and show you what we're doing there. Now we see we got our paracord coming through. Now what we're going to do is we're basically kind of using this basically like a trigger stick / bait stick kind of. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to pull in the back end. That takes a pretty good tug to make that move. So now we know that this works. So we already got that going for us. Now if we need to adjust that sensitivity, might have to make that a little fatter. I may not want so much of a narrow point. I've kind of got that feeling right there, so I'm going to take off a little bit of that because I think it's just a little bit too pointy, because we got to kind of get this thing to where it's going to want to trigger once the weight of a bird hits it. That's a little better. All right, but for now I'll let that set, because we're going to do our counterweight on the back end now. Now this is pretty simple. You can use a rock. I'm going to use this piece of wood here. I'm just literally going to make a slip knot on this back end here. It's going to go around it right here. And this is going to be the weight that's going to, once that thing's triggered, it's going to cinch down and capture our target animal. So we'll come back here real quick. We're going to do a real quick slip knot. There we go. Now then, let's get our weight. Now if you want, you can make some notches in this wood to help scrape. This has got so many lumps and bumps, I don't see that coming out there. So now we got our weight. Just kind of testing here, make sure it'll fall freely. Set you guys back. Maybe I can keep you. There we go. So you want to kind of test that. I'm just going to get my weight up here. Yeah, no problem. That's not super heavy. It's not. I don't think it's going to be too heavy at all. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right. Now we'll come back up here with that stick back in. Then we'll worry about making our snare noose up here. Right, now, let's put our stick in, and we're just basically with what we're doing here. This will be a good test to see how our stick is working for us. There we go. That's barely in there. Now on this end here, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to make a slip knot. Put a few more coils in that, just for the fact that I got more cordage than I need, and I don't want to cut the paracord again if I don't got to. So let's tighten that up. There we go. That I may redo that because that much coil may interfere with this thing from tightening, but we're going to test that. Okay, guys. Now the idea is, so we're looking for something maybe bigger, like a blue jay or something of that nature, maybe even a crow. But on this stick, we put what we got. Maybe got a Nutri-Grain bar. Maybe you can find some worms or grubs. Maybe you can pull, if you have to, you can, before you set this up, take this one of the other strands out if you ain't got no extra cordage or you can't make it naturally. Lash a worm or grub or something of this to entice them into it. Let's try to simulate a bird's foot if I can, guys. So now we got a bird by the foot. Now keep in mind, the heavier weight that you have on the back end of this thing, it's going to make it more difficult to trigger it here. So you got to keep that in mind. There you have it, guys. Now that one's fairly easy to set up. Is it one of my favorite traps? No, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not. Now, why would I be interested in catching birds outside of a chance for a small bit of meat? Well, feathers can come in handy if you can make survival bows with arrows, the outlateral, and you need fletching, and you may not be able to find feathers just laying about, because I'll tell you, out here where I'm at, there's a lot of turkey buzzards, turkeys, ducks, geese, all that. And rarely, unless you specifically go where they're nesting, will you find their feathers just laying about in the forest. Now, you may get lucky and come across turkey feathers, but if you're going to make any number of projectiles that require feathers, you'll need quite a few of them. So, there's that, and there's the ability to get that trap up higher, and you never know, you may actually be able to catch a squirrel with that one, by accident. But its primarily design is to use for birds. Now, mind you, I'm in the area in which that trap was, created. It had a very specific purpose, and we probably don't got quite the same birds that they do in that area. So, how well that works out here, because we got really small, tiny birds out here that could land on that and just eat the food, and it'll never set that trap off. But we got some fairly large ones out here that absolutely will set it off quite easily. So, you're really kind of playing the field there. It's another one of the deals where you'd want to have to set up quite a few of those. And I first tried that with a much smaller diameter cordage, the white nylon cord I use for a lot of stuff. I could get it to work, but I had to shove the trigger stick in there so deep it took so much weight to actually set it off, because it's such a small diameter cordage and it was easily sliding through the hole. I mean, you can make it work, but at that point, you're definitely going for much larger birds to have a chance of setting that off that way. It's not impossible. It's just not optimal. I hope you guys liked it and enjoyed it. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Still trying to get the channel to kind of recover from the new YouTube, stuff. So you guys hype the videos and share it with your friends and get me pushed out there further. I greatly appreciate it. With that, I'll see y'all in their video.